Here we have the 30-minute price chart for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Here we will kind of reassess the events that happened last week, try to summarize the market's trading activity, and try to develop a trading plan for the upcoming trading week. We saw some very volatile price movements in two different directions here. And there are some major questions that need to be answered about this stock. I think many people have questions. Many people also probably have opinions about where we currently stand here. So I would like to know what everybody thinks about these current trend movements. And because there are some significant arguments here that can be made on two sides. So to begin with, we can first point out the trading activity that occurred during the second half of the week. There were some fairly volatile moves to the downside. These really began on Thursday. We can see that the Thursday trading session started with highs of roughly 136.15 for NVIDIA stock. And then by the time all of the upcoming selling pressure had run its course, we had really seen lows just above 127. I'm seeing 127.06 here as the ultimate low here. So that would be the ultimate low from the Thursday trading session came in just above 127. So we did see some fairly significant price movements here. This is close to $10 per share. Um, we don't normally see many movements like this. The stock tends to trade with a fair amount of bullish momentum. So there are real questions here about what this really means for the broader trend. Um, if we put this in the broader context, we can see that we still have managed to maintain the uptrend that began when prices were trading at roughly 118.80 during the July 1st trading period. And even though we did see a kind of a negative closing period into the end of the week on Friday, we have still managed to hold above this trend line. So currently we're caught in what would look like an ascending triangle pattern overall, which on its own is a bullish pattern. But there are some problems with that here because we can't seem to really break convincingly above this exponential moving average cluster. We did see a break here above the 136 mark. During the earlier parts of the week, but then we did see this reversal lower quite quickly. So the question that I would really have for everyone here is, do you consider this to be a false breakout? We can look at this price movement here. We saw a kind of a sharp move above the moving averages, but then we reversed quickly. So in your opinion, would this constitute a false breakout, or are we simply consolidating here at higher levels? Is the fact that we managed to maintain trendline support, do you find this to be more important, or do you find it to be more important that we failed so quickly Uh, with these declines after reaching short-term highs? There are some legitimate questions here, and some points that can be made on both sides. Also pointing to this kind of uncertain price situation here. We previously had a sort of an ascending wedge or a symmetrical triangle pattern that was forming in the relative strength index itself. Overall, this does suggest a bit of a period of uncertainty. But we did have a clearly decisive break lower here during this Thursday trading session, where the upward momentum that was being shown in the relative strength index, that's this purple line down here, we saw a decisive move lower, and this really did invalidate the upward trend momentum, which had been in place since uh, the final portions of the June trading month, roughly June 24th is when this started. So this is a significant decline lower, and it really did invalidate this upward trend momentum that was being seen in the relative strength index itself. In prior videos, I have kind of pointed out some of the possible bearish price patterns which were possibly developing in this stock. There was a discussion about a bear flag pattern, which really didn't carry much weight. There was a possibility here that we could have been forming a head and shoulders pattern, which would be pretty ominous if it did happen, and it would suggest that a longer term top is in place. But we did see all this upward price movement here, which invalidated that pattern. We really didn't see a break of the neckline like you would need to see in a head and shoulders pattern. So, those bearish patterns have invalidated themselves. I mean, they did not play out the way that they would need to play out in order to remain valid. One other point that I would want to make here is the fact that we did fail here at a very significant Fibonacci retracement level. This 136.15 area is important because it roughly comes in contact with the 786 retracement, 78.6% Fibonacci retracement of this prior bear trend lower. And it's significant because it means that we were not able to retrace all of this move. We were not able to recover all of the losses that were seen previously, and we were not able to retest the prior highs. So if we're looking at the move that is drawn from the all-time highs at 140.76 and then culminate at this would be the June 24th lows, just above 118, the 78.6% retracement. We've retraced roughly 75% of this move. Is almost exactly where prices fail here, as you can see. It's a significant Fibonacci level, and it does raise some serious questions here. In your view, what is your view on this? I mean, do you think that we will be able to retrace this entire move? It is a significant failure. I mean, that really can't be denied, and it did come at a very significant Fibonacci level. So there are some real questions that can be asked here, and there are opinions on both sides. To the downside, we do have this upward trend movement, and overall, roughly an ascending triangle pattern that has managed to maintain itself, even with these kind of closing declines that we saw. We did, right before the Friday close, we did see a break back above the moving average cluster, but then we closed that period lower. And we're gonna have to start the week inside of that moving average cluster. So sometimes it can be difficult to break out of that zone. It sort of traps prices on many occasions, and it can lead to a period of indecision in the market. Another point that I would like to make here is the fact that the technology sector itself seems to be kind of diverging a bit here. We've seen harsh reactions to the selling pressure that was seen last week in certain stocks, but not as much in others. For example, Meta Platforms has completely collapsed. It's really had major problems falling through support levels. But if you look at a stock like Intel, which is also a technology stock, Intel recovered more, all of its gains and then some. We're actually trading at higher levels than we were before this sell-off period. So I think that what we're starting to see here is sort of a divergence within the tech sector. I don't think that we're going to see near term anyway, or maybe for all of this summer. I think that we might start to see some bigger winners and losers within the technology space. So I would like to hear people's opinions about what your favorite stocks are. Which stocks do you think will outperform? Which stocks do you think will underperform? If this outlook here is true, and if we are ready to start seeing some major divergences within the technology space, where some stocks fare much better than others, and general trends are not seen throughout the technology sector as a whole. So here's the current weekly update, the Friday trading session completion for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA.